Oh boy, let me tell you, as someone who once almost crashed a lawnmower and made his grandmother finish mowing the yard because he saw a snake in the grass, this movie was not for that person. In Them That Follow, we follow Mar. She is a fundamental Christian. She goes to basically one of those snake handling churches, and something happens in her life that goes against her belief system, and she has to make a very big decision on what path she wants to take. Them That Follow is going to divide audiences, but I was completely and utterly exhausted by this movie. It drained everything out of me, and probably for some of the reasons, the wrong reasons. Y'all, I have a big, massive fear of snakes. I was warned beforehand going into the theater to see this film that there would be a lot of snakes, but being a massive Walton Goggins fan and loving films that explore religion, due to the fact that I am religious, I went in regardless. Bad decision, y'all. This movie broke me down. I was petrified while watching this film, probably for all the wrong reasons, because every scene I was worried a snake was going to show up, because there are a lot of snakes in this film. But I do think Them That Follow is a very slow burn, compelling drama that does look at religion in a very fascinating light. This is not going to be for everyone. I think some people are going to flat out hate this movie, and I think some people will really enjoy it. I don't think it's a perfect film. In fact, I hate to use this word, but I do think the first act of this movie is flat out boring. Like, I know that's a bad word to use when reviewing the movie, but it was boring. It was missing life. It was missing spark. It was slow burn intentionally, but I just didn't really care for what I was watching. Once this movie finds its footing and we start to see what the actual plotting of this movie is, it does become a lot interesting. And I will admit that final act is flat out impeccable. It's flawless. It's amazing. And everyone in the theater was just flat out glued to their seats. And what I love so much about this movie that I think will annoy people is that this movie doesn't pick a side. It doesn't pick a side of religion. It's given the content of the scenes that you watch, it would have been so easy to have a message for this movie. It takes a very open stance on it, and it allows you as a viewer to take your own personal belief systems, apply it to this film, and come up with your own conclusion. I know the second that this movie was over, the people next to me immediately started having a conversation. Immediately. And it was deep, and it was powerful, and they started breaking the film down, and, and they talked a lot about fundamental Christians and all that stuff, and I thought when I saw that scene happen, I was like, the movie did its job. The movie did a job. It's opened the conversation. It was compelling enough to drive them in, to have these deep conversations, and also to be enjoying, fulfilling. The movie stars Walton Goggins, Olivia Colman, and Alice Englert, who was in Beautiful Creatures. And I thought the performances are phenomenal. Olivia Colman, most particularly, coming off her Oscar-winning performance in The Favorite, she, while not in it as much as you would hope, steals every scene she's in. I mean, there's 2 or 3 moments in this thing that I was just like, give the woman an award for this. She is pulling it all. And I think the main character, Mara, will divide audiences because she's so on the fence that you wish that she would just pick something at times. But what I do like about this movie, while the first act is a bit slow and tedious to get through, it is building up. And I do think the second act is just flat out relentless. Everyone in the theater was on the edge of their seat. They were glued to the screen. They were completely compelled by this film, regardless whether or not they were enjoying the experience or not. It definitely will get you invested into the content of what's happening in this film, whether you like the characters or not. Overall, Them That Follows is a relentless ordeal. It takes a non-judgmental approach to religion and snake handling cults, and you just get to experience. It is anchored by absolutely brilliant performances from Walton Goggins, Olivia Colman, and Alice Englert. Everyone in this film is stellar to watch. I loved the cinematography, and the snake scenes will simply take your breath away. as the score goes, I'm going to give Them That Follow a 4 out of 5. There you guys, there you have it. That was my little review for Them That Follow at South by Southwest. I was a fan of it. I could definitely see a lot of people having a lot of issues with this movie, but to me, this movie completely absorbed me in, and when a film does that, regardless of the subject matter, and that, my opinion, is a win in my book. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of this film if you saw it. And like I said, you guys, if you have a massive fear of snakes, do not watch this movie. I will never watch this movie ever again. But until next time, you guys, I'm the Slashy Movie Reviewer, and you guys have just been slashed.